If it isn't Fenring's pet puzzle box. Last we met, there was a Sadaka blade against your throat, and I was debating how best to make you scream. Careful, prisoner. I might start thinking you're trying to scare me. Threats and promises. Sounds about right. Let's get this going before the killer makes a third option. We don't have time for guesswork, but rushing breeds mistakes, and mistakes mean more blood on the streets. This killer is methodical, precise, and they won't stop until the job's done. There's a pattern to the victims. Find it, and you might catch them in the act. If the killer's still here, and we believe they are, then this is our best and maybe only chance to stop them. And make no mistake, if the Bennett Tlilaxu are involved, this isn't just a string of murders. It's a purge, carefully planned and devastating. A threat not only to Arakeen, but to the stability of the entire Imperium. There is no we. You go out and dig. I stay here and wait for the results. Don't come back empty-handed. You're not Fenring's only pet. He's got a whole shelf of broken things he likes to wind up and watch. Start with the engineer, Austin Lath, on the upper level of the Seleucid Bull. The last two victims were known associates. He must be mixed up in this somehow. He's not out on the floor with the common drinkers, if that's what you're thinking. Lath sticks to the back rooms, quiet, curated, and expensive enough to keep the rabble out. Of course not. They are restricted to patrons of higher standing than prisoner. You'll have to speak with the barman on the upper level of the Seleucid Bull, Alistair Chin. Either he or their security man, Ugo Forense, can provide access. If only I had a dossier and a drink menu. Find the man. You'll learn more in 5 minutes than I could tell you in 10. Should you require further guidance, return to me. Welcome to the Matador Room. If you're here for shade, spirit, if you're here for honesty, I suggest dehydration. An engineer? Ah, my dear, we get all sorts. Tinkerers, thinkers, men with their heads in copper and sin. Austin Lath. That's not a name one forgets, even in this fog of faces and ruin. What's it to you? Grave danger, is it? Tragic how engineers attract it like rust. Yes, we all know Master Lath. He's a fixture both here at the bar and in the Espada Lounge, our members-only room in the back. Surprises for school children and clerks. I serve poison in crystal and betrayal in whispers. Trouble It's my afternoon tea. Importance is relative, darling. To you, perhaps urgent. To me, just another evening with too many voices and too few tips. Talk to Ugo. He's the poor soul tasked with mopping up after people who think their urgency is persuasive.
Hello! Welcome to the Matador Room, where the spirit of Caladan steps into the ring, poised, unshaken, and noble to the end. Believe me, I would love to usher you in and cause a scandal. But unless your house's sigil is on the registry, you will have to enjoy this floor with the rest of us wretches. If velvet robes could talk, they would say, no exceptions, not even for charmers. Try another angle. It be a minor medical incident with a patron. We are grateful for your patience. Of course, discretion and propriety forbid me from disclosing the activities of our patrons. You understand. Hey, Thor's sent you. Yes, we know Master Letha well. Alas, he is the subject of the unfortunate medical incident I spoke of. Yes, but that was before you identify yourself as the sub-prefect's agent. I regret to inform you that the engineer has suffered the most conclusive of health setbacks. Let's just say he won't be ordering more drinks anytime soon. Very well. But may I ask what is it you are looking for? What a conspiracy! The man was cooked on Vanta draft, and he liked to play revolutionary between relapses. Please, wave your little wand around. You will see what I saw. The trail of a man who burned from the inside out.
If you're hearing this, well, I didn't get away. I'm Austin Lathe, engineer. The guy they call when they want things done, not questions asked. There was this one chance I could have said no, but I didn't. I crunched the numbers, fine-tuned them. That was all it took to bring down the ceiling on 1,000,000 lives. I didn't press the button, but I knew it was coming. I just didn't want to disappoint the guy who asked. They gave me a new title, a nicer coat, called me Na Familia. But after that, they wouldn't look me in the eye. And the thing I hear over and over, it's not the blast, it's my silence. Then I found this pamphlet stuck behind a sink. You dig, you sweat, you die, and your work builds opera houses on worlds you'll never see. There was a sandfly stamped on the back, razor wings, sickle-shaped stinger. What bleeds in silence must one day sing. Didn't get it then, but those words stuck.
Oh, I swear to the stars, if you're here to ply me with a drink, I'm going to shove shards of glass in your eyes. I'm sorry. Am I sorry? No, no, I'm not. Let me be plain. This is the worst possible time. I do not wish to speak. Kindly go away, please. You've seen... Very well. Let's get this over with. My name is Hester Klimt. Ask your questions. I was his assistant. We worked together at the Imperial Planetologist's office. That's the extent of our relationship. No. And what does it matter? There's no foul play. Unless you have some compelling evidence or medical training, I have to deal with the fallout now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to prepare. I have to clean out his office. I have to prepare for his replacement. There's too much.
Evening, Sergeant. Am I being redeployed to the gutter, or just the curb? Looking for Austin Lath, hmm? Let me tell you about Corporal Lath. No relation, mind you. 5th Mesa Infantry, Dejamwadi, hell of a fight. We'd cut down half a cohort of Harkonnen dragoons and engineers stalling the Bastion's build. One blink too long, and we were marked. Last fire from the Bastion's shadow, pinning us down, peeling men apart. But Corporal Lath, he moved through that ruin like it was his own grave. Blood on the stone, breath like ash. Got behind the nest, killed it quiet. A minor victory swallowed by the endless grind of war. Corporal Lath and 11 other troopers died that day. You want a hero's tale, that's it. But don't expect the Lath you're chasing to be like that. Different man. This one's just a ghost story for fools at the bar. I hope your Lath is alive. Mine surely isn't.
Are you from the planetologist office? I'm getting rather annoyed. Wait, I can't hear you at all. Allow me to engage my enhanced hearing. Only thing the bloody Tlilaxu are good for. There. Now, tell me again. Are you from the planetologist office? My grandson Cyprian is the Imperial planetologist here. Of course I am. The boy made planetologist at 25. Cyprian is bound for great things. Cyprian's great-uncle Shaddam thinks very highly of his young nephew. Who else, you silly fool? Are you from the planetologist office? Wait, I can't only there. My grandson Cyprian. Who are you? My grandson Cyprian is the Well, you should bloody well know him if you are from... Then why are we...
You dare bother me again. Don't my lady me, you ghastly pretender. Whatever low peerage you claim can hardly justify your appalling manners. I know the names and faces of 132 great houses that matter, and you are not among them. Perhaps you are a lord in whatever backwater you hail from, but here, you get my tea.
Oh, you're back. Oh, please hold. Allow me to adjust the ocular acuity of my eye implants. My husband is always complaining. Eilith, turn your eyes up. I like to keep them turned down in public. Too much visual hurly-burly gives me vapors. There. Yes. Are you the server? I'm sorry, but why are we speaking if you are not the server? It is improper to speak to an unaccompanied elder lady of substance without a proper introduction first. It just isn't done. Propriety must be maintained, or there is chaos. Morwena here would have you flogged. Of course, that's not necessary. Why, yes. I'm glad we understand each other. I wasn't sure you would appreciate the subtext. Many Pauls cannot, you know. Understand, dear, we of the nobility are not your enemy. We are superior, it is true. But that advantage allows us to care for you of the lower orders in ways you cannot hope to comprehend. Do you understand? Think of the underclasses as if they were a dog. You warn a dog against drinking foul water. But if it is thirsty, it will drink, and it will die. We of the nobility have the understanding, resources, and divinely granted imperative to build a fence around the foul water, thereby protecting the dogs from themselves. Now, do you understand? Rude as well as impertinent. This conversation is over. Oh, you're back. Oh, please, my husband. I like to keep them there. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is improper. It just... Propriety. Morwena here would have you flogged. Why, yes. Understand, dear. But that advance... Do you understand? There. Now that you have braved my wrath for your impertinence, I grant you a single question for your trouble. What do you wish to know? I try not to be frank. My brother, the Count Ilban Rashis, was greatly interested in them on an anthropological level. Ultimately, he supported their integration into the Imperium, but alas, perhaps the wilder things out there cannot be tamed. It seems their demise was an unfortunate but inevitable fact. That is a second question, but it pleases me to answer. Yes, I have known many and have even dined among the Ikhwan Bedouin. My husband counts himself amongst their number. You may have seen him. He is the High Sheriff of Arakin. You do not appear to be injured or ill. So what brings you to my clinic? I can't say I know the name, but I'm afraid my head has been buried in matters concerning my clinic of late. What's this to do with me? A possible murder, then. I see. That is interesting. At least morbidly so. Today has taken an interesting turn. I'll do the best I can without a body to directly examine. What can you tell me about the state of the cadaver? That makes me suspect poison. However, without bodily samples to test, I cannot confirm. A poison snooper would be the most expedient method. I'm afraid I don't have any snoopers at all. My supplies are lacking in general at the moment. If I knew that, I'd have one already. But I'm not exactly familiar with the more illicit sources of goods in Arakeen.
Oh, hey there, friend. Looking for anything special? Well, color me curious. You've got a specific purpose in your eyes. What are you looking for? You're in luck. I just so happen to have a snooper. I could part with it for a proper pittance of Solari, or perhaps some alternative form of payment. Come back when you have enough, Solari.
Welcome. Would you like to dip? How much Thalaris would you like to withdraw? Welcome. Would you like to? How much Thalaris would you like?
Oh, hey there, friend. Well, color me curious. You're in luck. Solari always spends. Much obliged.
You? Again? You're like a rash. Sorry. Was that hurtful? Not hurtful enough. How is this supposed to go? I'm in over my head. I'm not in a proper state of mind, and I promise there will be collateral damage if I have to open my mouth. Murder? That's impossible. I don't... How could you... How? No, there's clearly been a mistake. The situation is insane enough without these wild theories. All right, you nerve-wracking hound. Let me think. Perhaps I do know something that would help. Ask your questions. Stranger than usual? He did become extra agitated. Paranoid, even. Particularly after a meeting with a strange woman. A redhead. He met with her in a closed room for hours. He came out, distressed, immediately ordering a Thop to transport for the following day. I don't know if I should... He had a secret workshop in the eastern shield wall. I don't know why he chose such a remote location. I don't know what he worked on there. I never saw him work. I'll send you the coordinates of the workshop. I understand. Let's get this over with. Murder. I just can't believe... Well, the more I think about it, someone murdering Austin isn't so unbelievable. I don't know what to believe. Austin wasn't a conventional boss. He rarely came into the office. A dysfunctional workplace, to say the least. No guidance, little teaching, nothing. With the absence of Cyprian Io, I've been taught nothing. I've had to figure it out as I go, running the day-to-day affairs in the chaos. In essence, I'm the acting planetologist of Arrakis. It's ludicrous. I'm in over my head. Damn Austin. Or rest in peace, or both. I'm losing my mind. I've suspected as much. Austin must have done something for someone in power to earn his cozy position. He did something that haunted him. You should understand, Austin was a brilliant engineer, as near as I can tell. But something shattered him at some point. He's a shadow of who he was. It wasn't any one thing or any describable clue. Just a million tiny intangibles taken in while being around him. Something had him guilt-racked. Once I saw him sobbing over a set of city planning sketches. He didn't see me. He avoided his work and skill set. It made him feel guilty or afraid. I'm not sure how he made ends meet, but the job title remained and money kept coming in. Was that some sort of revolutionary manifesto? I don't know much about the book itself, other than Austin was reading it obsessively recently. Not specifically. Well, I don't know if it is any way connected, but Austin's political demeanor was becoming more, I suppose, militant. Towards the end, he also seemed to be hanging out about more and more shady and dangerous-looking people, though I have no idea who they were. Alistair and Ugo have access to any room in the Seleucid Ball, of course. I know I've seen Ambrose Lucifera in and out of there. Isn't that the thing about murder? We're often surprised by who is capable. I suppose Ugo and Alistair might have their own shady dealings. But I can't imagine them killing someone in their own establishment. And Ambrose seems too ridiculous. I don't know. An alibi for Austin's murder. I was out on business that Austin had been neglecting. I'm afraid the only proof I can show are piles of hastily prepared paperwork.
Ah, you are back. How can I help? But who would want to kill Master Leith? Between his taste for that toxic Harkonnen brew he loved so much, and the company he kept, house deserters and ex-Dune men mostly. Not the kind that file taxes or hold court on Kaiten. Master Leith was a creature of habit, wretched ones. Benders that lasted days, women and drink until he couldn't see straight. Oh, public! Shouting poetry in the gutter. One sock, no shoes. The sheriff, he dragged him in more than once. No charges, of course. Not for his kind. He would vanish, poof. Sometimes for days or weeks at a time. Always come back clear-eyed, skin back like a desert stone. That is when he would hole up in the private room, pour himself a Vanta, crack open one of those revolutionary tomes, and the cycle would begin anew.
Oh, you're back. Oh, please help my husband. I like to keep there. Yes. Are you the... I'm sorry, but it is improper. It just... Propriety. Morwena here would have you... Understand, dear. But that advantage... Do you understand? There. Now that you... What do you wish to know? If you must. I forgot how much I like talking about myself.
Very well, what do you want? I don't think you could get into any school that I attended. Your bone structure betrays you. Oh, I have no doubt you hail from some sort of bucolic backwoods nobility, but you walk among titans now, hayseed. Restrain yourself. You're a noble of sorts. Enjoy the ride. But know your place, and don't embarrass yourself. I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you harassing me? Portafoy, prepare for action.
Found what you were looking for? Or just a new regret to pair with your drink? I believe you are mistaken. Master Leith is under the influence of something quite spiritual. Vantadraft. Known side effects include coma, confession, and occasionally death. But let's be generous and assume the middle one. You're right. No games. Just a corpse in the Espada room, and a list of insults I had hoped to use before Vantadraft finished what regret started. Murdered? No. Master Leith was far too committed to slow, deliberate self-annihilation, not flashy enough for murder. Self-loathing's not a flaw in this town. It's a currency. And Master Lathe had it to spare. He spent it on bad liquor, bad romance, and bad books. In that general order. Vanta Draft poured black as regret. The real stuff. Illegal with a trace of poison. Mined in barrels, not bottled. Master Lathe said it was the only drink honest enough to finish what he started. Not officially. Just a spice stabilizer that got banned in 3 systems. Makes the color pretty. Also kills your liver. Depending on who you ask, that's a feature. Optimistic. That's generous. The bottle said, may impair judgment. Master Lathe read that as permission. You will have to ask his assistant, Hester Klimt. She catalogues tragedy like a tax collector. Go spoil her mood.
Back so soon? Can't get enough of my...
You dare bother me again.
Are you from the planetologist office? I'm getting rather annoyed.
Do mine ears detect the footfalls of someone who will add a drop of excitement to this rather pedestrian... Austin's dead. But I only saw him recently. So full of life. Wait. Is this a potential murder investigation? How charmingly macabre! Do you really think someone murdered poor Austin? Shh, don't spoil it. Yes, I simply must be involved. How might I facilitate your sleuthery? Now see here, I am only midway through today's debauch, and am of sound enough mind to answer the queries of both of you. There are 2 of you, yes? I jest. Oh, do lighten up. This isn't a funeral, it's a possible murder scene. Why, I should think you'd be the resident expert on poisons with your involvement in the farcical plot to assassinate me. That was you, wasn't it? Just a jest at your expense. All water under the bridge, I assure you. Why, some of my closest friends have tried to murder me at one time or another. Now, what were we talking about? A proper murder mystery, and I'm a suspect. How wickedly romantic. Perhaps I felt a deadly envy toward my dear friend. Nothing comes to mind. He was a sad sack of wine, whereas I am rather fabulous. Come to think of it, we weren't very close friends. Pshaw, we can hammer out a motive later. I'm just glad to be in the rogues gallery of this caper. I can say this about poisoning Austin. It would be easy to do. The man had recently developed a bottomless appetite for spiced alcohol. Not everyone can handle vice with the charm and panache that I do. People like Austin turn alcoholic dependency into something depressing. Something terrible haunted that man. 1 part guilt and 2 parts fear of discovery, shaken well and garnished with intrigue. Take it as you will. I am just a fatuous noble brat with too much leisure on his hands. Or perhaps I'm at my most serious when I'm joking. My occasional drinking companion has an education in engineering. If anything, he's even more of a man of leisure than I. He has an advisory position at the Imperial Planetologist's office, though I don't believe he's ever set foot in that office. He's here more often than even I. If you ask me, and you have, he curried the favor of someone powerful to receive such a cushy job. Well, his carnal pursuits are prodigious. He worked his way through nearly all of Arakeen's eligible ladies. The man knows how to pitch woo prolifically. Allow me to lend you an ear. Maybe two. Only that they have an improbably high propensity for slapping me, men and women. Though to be fair to them, I deserved it. Oh, do you mean Austin's tremulous little apprentice cowering at the window? In that case, no. I'm afraid I missed out on that bit of gossip. A pity. I did see him reading a Sandfly's manifesto recently. I can say that he was rather buried in that book, a recent reading obsession. He even had it open at the bar, barely registering the people around. I was mildly put off by all the finger-licking he did whilst turning the pages, but if moisture is needed on Arrakis, one must simply supply it themselves. Oh, yes, that was the most scandalous bit about it. A rather controversial text full of criticisms of the Empire. The title was, Histories of Imperial Descent, Volume 7, The Ekaz Revolt Causes, Conduct, and Consequences Within the Imperium. Or something thereabouts. Come to think of it, he also recently read a banned Sandfly's manifesto titled Wings in the Dark, Notes Toward a Future Without Chains. Yes, well, I simply must petition my house to change our motto to, For We Are High Functioning. I shall count the minutes until the next disaster. It's been a most unusual pleasure. Should you discover any more juicy details, I'll be here, keeping vigil for poor Austin.
Report. You rattled her then? Good. Did anything shake loose? Did she say where? If he was running, that's the direction we look. Very good. You're starting to think like a Cheops player. But every cleared square reveals a trap or a truth. Go see which one Lath left behind. The pyramid game. 9 levels. Like chess built for mentats. It doesn't matter if you have... The point is, you don't win Cheops by chasing pawns. Every piece changes value as you climb the board. Just like an investigation, you can't trust what's in front of you until you understand what's above it and what's beneath.